Alright, buckle up, because this one's wild. Imagine a former National Guard major, also a weekend talk show host, suddenly firing 4-star generals right in the middle of active combat operations. Yep, you heard that right. People are comparing this to Stalin purging his top generals before World War II. And honestly, it raises a ton of questions. What's really going on here? So here's the situation. 4-star generals, the top brass in the military, some with decades of experience, just shown the door. Now, technically, all commissioned officers serve at the pleasure of the president. That's true. Lincoln did it. He fired multiple generals before he finally found Grant. Even Grant had a reputation for drinking, so the bar for firing isn't exactly perfect record. But here's the twist. We're not talking about a normal rotation or retirement. This feels different. The timing, the middle of combat operations, raises eyebrows. And people online are not holding back. They're confused, frustrated, and in some cases, genuinely alarmed. Some are saying this is about loyalty, not performance. Like, if a leader isn't 100% aligned with a certain political agenda, maybe they're seen as a threat. Others are pointing out the numbers back in World War II. The US had just 7 4-star generals. Today, there are 44. Some argue that trimming the top tier might make sense, but the method, that's controversial. Now let's talk reactions. Veterans and military watchers online are divided. One comment said, "Generals don't usually get fired after winning a war, so why now?" Another said, "It's like Bart Simpson firing Principal Skinner. Just makes no sense." People are also curious about the logistics. How do you even fire someone in the armed forces? What kind of justification do you give? And then, what about compensation? Some online discussions suggest early pensions are possible, but these are top-level positions with complex retirement rules. Then there's the public perception angle. If a huge victory supposedly happened, like the president claiming a complete annihilation in Iran, why fire the top guys responsible for that success? And where's the media coverage? Unlike past conflicts, there's almost no footage, no on-the-ground reports. It's feeding a lot of online speculation. History gives us some perspective. Purging military leadership isn't new. Stalin did it, and Lincoln, well, he was pragmatic. But the context matters. Back then, the aim was often survival or political control. Today, firing multiple top generals mid-operation could affect morale, readiness, and strategic consistency. Some commentators online are trying to draw lessons from history, saying even if you can fire them legally, the optics and the consequences are massive. Others are focusing on the what-if scenario. What if these generals were fired not for competence, but because of political alignment? That's where things get tense. So what's the takeaway? Whether you see this as a legitimate presidential right or a dangerous precedent, one thing is clear. It's shaking confidence in the military hierarchy. Veterans are asking questions, citizens are confused, and historians are probably raising their eyebrows right now. Here's the question. If you were in command and your top generals were suddenly fired mid-operation, how would that affect your mission? And for viewers, what do you think this means for the balance between politics and military professionalism in the US? Drop your thoughts below. This isn't just speculation. It's a real conversation about leadership, loyalty, and the future of our armed forces.